Assalamualaikum and hi, my name is Muniratasha binti Zainuddin, student ID A18HA0115, and my supervisor is Dr. Lili Suryani binti Muhammad Arif. My examiners and viewers, welcome to my Viva presentation, a descriptive study of social media usage for recruiting and screening purposes in Malaysia. As you can see right now is the outline of my presentation. Let's take a look at the first agenda. Do you know, since the eruption of the internet wave in the mid-90s, organizations started using the internet in recruiting and screening activity. The previous study supported this adaptation due to its cost-saving benefits and the growth of personal networking sites. Despite the promising hopes of this adaptation, the hidden risks of using social media for recruiting and screening should not be left out in the code. Various research challenged the reliability and transparency of using social media for this practice. The concerns are biases, prejudice, personality screening, and unfair representative. Structuring the study directions, these are the objectives of the research. What is media richness theory and how does it relate with social media? Media richness theory is when uncertainty of a goal and the richness of a medium is combined to be an effective communication channel. This theory is then linked with social presence and self-disclosure. Kaplan and Helen 2010 compared the different classification of social media by separating each from self-disclosure versus social presence and media richness. The table shows in a different type of social media and its amount of media richness or social presence and self-disclosure. Therefore, without even sacrificing much of media richness, social media can reach a large applicant, ease information interchange, reduce advertising costs, and improve data accessibility. Next, methodology. After deciding that this research is a descriptive quantitative study, a set of survey was prepared. The questionnaire was adopted from two published resources. The questionnaire was tested using Chromebacks Alpha to determine its reliability before being distributed to 40 organizations in Malaysia. Out of 40, only 30 organizations agreed to participate. The result of the survey was then analyzed using descriptive statistics. The graphic illustrates 80% of organizations are from private sector, 33.3% organizations have a range of 50 to 249 employees, and 30% are from manufacturing sector. We can see from the first bar chart the top 3 most used social media are Facebook, followed by LinkedIn and Instagram. The second bar chart visualizes why organizations are using social media. Each item is closely significant as a reason of using social media. This diagram tells us that currently 73.4% of organizations are using social media for recruitment and looking forward to use it again. Only 3.3% of organizations that use social media for recruiting are not planning to repeat this action. Next, 66.7% of organizations already have a formal policy allowing recruiting via social media. Then 86.7% agreed that they are using social media to recruit specific job level, which includes upper management, middle management, and non-management job level. Moving on to screening. Despite the 73.3% organizations allow their candidates to explain information in social media, either before or after the decision to hire, unfortunately 26.7% organizations refuse to allow the candidates to explain information in their social media at any time. The following findings is shocking, where 56.7% organizations rejected the candidates due to the information in the candidate's public social network page. Moving on to the organization concerns in using social media for this activity. Most of the organizations are highly concerned about invading privacy, legal risks, and either the information is relevant and good to fit for the organization. Overall, the total mean values shows average level of social media usage in recruiting and screening as well as the effectiveness of recruiting specific job levels. The total mean value also visualizes a higher level of concerns in using social media for recruiting and screening. If I could now turn to discussions, we understand that organization is currently using social media for recruiting purposes, which then explained by the fact that the most organization already has a formal policy allowing this activity. These two findings then support a statement by Doherty in 2010 where he proposed that organizations are adopting social media to appear innovative and dynamic. So now what we have here are medium level of social media usage for screening and recruiting. We look at screening first. The medium usage of screening might be explained by Jess and Schultz in 2016, where they proposed that using social media for candidate screening has been related to a number of negative effects. Now let's focus on recruiting. Even though the overall mean for this dimension is medium, there are 3 items recorded in a high mean range. All these 3 items were related to minimizing cost and time spent searching for candidates. This then proved a statement by Messiah 2012 where he stated that employers increasingly use the internet or social media to search and evaluate candidates due to cost reductions. Moving on to the findings where 26.7% refuses to allow candidates to explain information in social media, which support the research by Broten et al. 2013 and Stoughton et al. 2013 about personality prejudice and screening. Second, the organization behavior of rejecting candidates regarding information in public networking sites clearly violates the concept of social media itself. Then I would like to point out the high level of concerns in using social media for screening and recruiting. These findings support the research by McDonald and Thompson 2015 and Jazz 2015 regarding violation of privacy and information reliability. As a result of the findings from this research, the recommendations to organizations are to be more transparent and re-evaluate the reasoning of using social media to screen candidates. Meanwhile, for the future research, it is recommended to include TikTok as one of the media platforms since it had more than 600 million users by August 2020, making it a global phenomenon. In addition, it would be interesting to study if the state culture, conservative or liberal, might affect the way organizations perceive and behave while using social media for recruiting and screening. To conclude, this research is a great start to visualize the e-recruitment activity in Malaysia. Therefore, it is important to expand from what to why study in the future, which might lead to the evidence that supports the international studies finding from the data research in this country. Thank you.